Is there a deep, great, and ancient proclivity in the deepest recesses of our hearts that gravitates us to the light and places a fear of the dark within? That'll be under my microscope for today. Is there magic at work in repressing the dark? I reckon that would be dark magic if there's something of the sort under the blue sky. Or is it work? Active work? Either way, it doesn't make any sense, you guys. The way I finally figured this worked was you tried to get the maximum bang for the buck when you went into a dealership looking for a car. But what's with leaving all the paint behind? Isn't that what happens when you walk out with a white car? Precisely a third of all of the ones sold anywhere. White cars typically sell twice as much as their black counterparts as well, and expect to pay at least double for a swamp-deposited, time-rhino-marsh-bashing, sedimentary, less than the sum of its loose parts, brittle-ass marble countertop when compared to the far more durable, heavier, stronger, and greatly impervious black granite, right out of a volcano's belly and polished to a shine. Perhaps the granite is cheaper because a wizard got it out of the fire without having to face off with the rhino, right? Was it dark magic then? Whatever it was, Gandalf wasn't a whole lot satisfied being white, nay gray. Isn't that what he called himself? There are some people that go to extreme lengths. Read Fighting with a Balrog only in order to get white. Even if it would mean forgetting all of their friends. How about forgetting the sun itself, or your every single ancestor since like forever, when large chunks of Americans, Southern Europeans, Chinese, Indians, Southeast Asians, Africans, South Americans, whatever have you, prop a thoroughly illegal, carcinogenic, and hell of a sad industry worth $20 billion US in 2018. Using global financial integrity numbers, that figure then is 20 times the size of the global human organ trafficking industry. And before we let all the others off the hook, how about we pull some hair? Lighter dyes are hands down more popular among everyone. In many markets, since a certain bomb blast in 1953, the blonde dye is considered cheap gold. Even if you could afford it and you were the Queen of England, you'd still die for it, eagerly mooching on Venetian ceruse. When we can have deterministic debates about hundreds of thousands of recent refugees settling perhaps a couple countries entirely elsewhere for a couple years' worth of war completed in only a few months' time, why can we not have such deterministic debates about people that don't even want to be refugees out of sub-Saharan Africa, about strife that continues to this day in many regions there? Why have we never tried to tie them with our dollars and economies in a way that's meaningful and uplifting? In any case, let's talk about what came first, the widow or the dark dress? I know it wasn't the light dress because that was away to the wedding. For that matter, this must be a totally human phenomenon, since I've never really seen a shiny white chameleon like ever. So much for someone that can actually take on any color. For those that can't, you're doomed. So why is it an anthropomorphic phenomenon of being born and going around besmirching the darkness? Is it technology that doesn't adversely impact reptiles, given they don't live in labs? Is it worth paying so much extra for the white versions of the same overpriced crap? So it ends up looking dirtier and more scuffed in 2 months, like 6 months before it's obsolete anyways? Or is this some kind of ancient modernism? For even Sherlock Holmes, 100 years ago, could only ever recognize yellow faces for what should have arguably been olive. But it must be persistent with time, for most fixtures of modern life tend to look like boiled virgins waiting to be scuffed up too. Thinks we are done playing our games. We don't fool around. We get down to business, where we really mean business. We go with things the way they are. I'm never picking up a white powdered hammer, or a pink nail, or a pale knife. Maybe in another universe, where black gold lost not all of its value to fire, where things turned white when burning, where gods could see the most fancy of supernovas just as well as the most massive black holes dead behind them. Go ahead and like and subscribe to us right now, and ring that bell icon too so you get notifications on when we finish and upload. Our site, Ene.Media, is where the conversation continues. Do tell us in the comments section if you wanted for us to blog about something you cared about. The comments section below is all yours. Until next time.